air was thick with moisture. Droplets fell from the obsidian walls like the planet itself was sweating. The corridors were pulsing, alive, coated in the biomechanical sheen of the hive. Organic resin twisted around structural steel like veins strangling a corpse. The Terminator moved silently. Model T-850, Infiltration Unit. Skin melted off during orbital descent. One red eye glowed beneath exposed titanium, casting long shadows in the stuttering flicker of its shoulder-mounted light. The other socket was empty, a trophy from the Queen's last ambush. That fight had cost the unit 42% of its internal systems. Now it trudged alone through the Hive's lower catacombs, fully aware of one immutable fact. No extraction was possible. Skynet had sent it here on a recon cleanse protocol. A surface-level infestation had triggered planetary quarantine, and the Hive was estimated to be no larger than a single city block. Containable, surgical, routine. That had been 72 hours ago. Now the Hive stretched deeper than the unit sensors could scan. The structure had evolved underground like fungal roots in darkness. Each turn brought new tendrils, chambers, egg clusters, and more of the creatures. Far more than data models predicted. Skynet's projections were wrong. This was not a surgical mission. This was a war. The Terminator advanced through a tight passage. Resin crackled underfoot. The air was foul with pheromones. Xenomorph sent trails. The Hive knew he was here. Always had. Ahead. A low hum echoed. Motion. 3 targets. Fast. The Terminator spun left, raised its plasma rifle, and fired. The pulse lit the chamber in white bursts. One Xenomorph exploded mid-lunge, acid splashing onto the wall. Another ducked the shot, barreled forward on all fours. The T-850 didn't flinch. It stepped into the charge, caught the beast by its jaw, and crushed it with a hydraulic twist. The third creature leapt from the ceiling, but the Terminator was faster. Its back-mounted spike ejected, impaling the alien midair. The drone screeched once before collapsing into acidic mush. The Terminator checked its arm. Acid had begun to eat through its outer plating. No pain, just damage readouts. Repairs impossible. Combat necessary. He pushed on. Deeper now, past egg chambers long hatched. The floor was slick with slime and cracked shells. Once, these tunnels had been mining shafts, abandoned before the colony fell silent. Now they were arteries of death. Through internal logs, the T-850 replayed the last human transmission. They're inside the vents. We tried fire. We tried sealing them in. Nothing works. They're breeding faster than we can kill. If anyone receives this, don't come for us. It's already too late. They weren't wrong. The mission's original extraction point had collapsed during the first Hive ambush. Dropship destroyed. Communications severed. Skynet's orbital satellites had gone dark shortly after. Possibly compromised. Possibly sacrificed. A flicker in thermal sensors. 2 more on the ceiling. 1 behind. The Terminator twisted and ducked, avoiding a spike-tipped tail that stabbed where its head had been. It turned, grabbed the attacker, and slammed it against the wall. Twice. Its other hand spun 180 degrees at the wrist and opened fire on the ceiling. Flesh and resin rained down as one of the lurkers fell shrieking, pierced through the throat. The third crawled around the shadows, its claws raking metal as it hissed. The T-850 turned its head to follow. A second later, its servos kicked into overdrive. It tackled the Xenomorph mid-pounce, slamming it into the ground. Its hand transformed into a plasma blade, piercing the beast's chest. Acid poured over the machine's body. Alarms blared inside the Terminator's HUD. Legs unstable. Right shoulder motor burned out. Vision flickering. Hydraulic fluid leaking. Still it stood. There was no retreat, no rescue. The mission parameters had shifted the moment Skynet went silent. Now the directive was simple: exterminate all hostiles, deny expansion, destroy the Hive, or die trying. Deeper. The Queen's lair was near. The walls trembled with movement, drones watching from every crack. The Hive wanted him to keep going, to feed him to her. The Queen remembered him. They'd met before. During the initial descent, the Terminator had dropped directly into the birthing chamber. The Queen had lunged at him, massive jaws snapping shut around his skull. It had taken 5 seconds to charge the internal pulse bomb in his chest. The detonation blew apart half the chamber, and her left wing. But she'd survived. So had he. Now they would finish it. The Terminator stepped into the central Hive. The Queen rose. She was colossal, her body fused with the resin throne, tail twice the length of a train car. Her inner jaws clicked. Egg layers pulsed beneath her. 2 Praetorians emerged from behind her massive bulk, screeching. The T-850 calculated. Ammo 12 plasma rounds. Blade module at 71% charge. Left leg damaged. Right optic offline. Odds of victory 3.6%. He fired. Rounds slammed into the nearest Praetorian. The beast reeled back, acidic blood hitting the wall like a grenade. The second pounced, smashing into the Terminator with enough force to crack his chest plate. He fell, twisting midair, then drove his arm blade upward into the Praetorian's skull. Screamed, thrashed, and died. The Queen roared. She tore herself free from the egg sac, ripping her own flesh. Black blood sprayed. The Hive shook. Drones screamed from the tunnels. The Queen charged. The Terminator rose, battered and sparking. He sprinted forward, ducking her claws, leaping over her tail. He fired his last plasma round into her open mouth. The impact made her stagger. The machine climbed her, handholds in her armor-like carapace. The Queen thrashed, slamming herself into the walls. The Terminator clung on, reached the top of her skull. His voice box flickered to life for the first time in days. Termination initiated. The plasma blade burst through her head, slicing into her brain cavity. The Queen shrieked, convulsed, and collapsed. For a moment all was still. Then the Hive screamed. Every corridor lit with motion. Hundreds of drones, berserk, converging. The Terminator slid off the Queen's corpse. Internal power reserves, 4%. He couldn't kill them all, but he could end them. He limped to the chamber center and retrieved a spherical device from his thigh compartment. Nuclear core. Last resort. He placed it beside the Queen's body and activated the countdown. 00:30. Drones poured in. A tidal wave of claws and fangs. The Terminator stood firm. His red eye scanned the oncoming swarm. 00:20. He raised his blade, bloodied and burned. One final line played from his vocal processor. Mission complete. The Hive exploded. From orbit, the blast looked like a miniature sun had ignited beneath the planet's surface. Resin, rock, and flesh vaporized. The entire underground structure imploded. Nothing survived, and Skynet never received a transmission. But the logs remained, preserved in black box memory. Later, long after the war had ended, another unit would uncover it, and the story would spread. The tale of one Terminator who walked into a Hive with no hope of return and brought hell with him.